Well, this is a late night edition of Beyond the Fairway. Like, you and I never really catch up this late in the evening. Look, we usually record this thing early in the morning, but on this occasion, I got some of that special brown. This is not scotch, this is Kentucky bourbon.
Hey, you can't drink alcohol on camera.
Bullshit. I can today. I'm at the house. This is Beyond the Fairway.
This
Tell you
is
something.
this is Beyond the Fairway after dark.
This is after dark, god dog. Because, man, I can't give the listeners out there just some feedback. Currently, it's 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 on the East Coast. Will Lowry has been jet setting from the U.S. Open over there to the KPMG Women's Championship or PGA Championship. Will, and you got miles on you right now, cuz.
Yeah, and just got home. Uh, here
And
for a
back to
couple
it.
here for a couple of days, like literally a day and a half, and heading down to shoot an episode of just heading down to shoot an episode. I guess a surprise episode, so I can't say that. But
Yeah,
and then
you
we
gonna
got
shoot that surprise
yeah
episode. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
and then got an underrated tour next couple of days. So it's gonna be
That's the first one, right? That's the first one of the year.
yeah, first one of the year in West Palm at the park.
Okay.
So it's gonna be kind of fun. It's gonna be exciting seeing the kids and the families again, and we're kind of gonna have a different approach this year. So I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
But I think it's funny that it's the trade off though, right? The trade off will of I feel like lately you have been bootstrapping this entire country and growing the game and as you see fit, man. It's gotta I gotta ask, it's gotta take a toll on you some point because I did that little 7 week stretch and I got back home exhausted. So I mean, how you feeling? In the words of Will Lowry, how's your spirits?
Ooh, I never had a shot back at me. I mean, yeah, I mean it takes a toll, but it's cool. It's funny. There's a situation at the U.S. Open that I saw Jackson Kinzo. Jackson Kinzo was at the he was part of Curry Underrated Tour last year, and I haven't seen him since the Curry Cup. And it was good seeing his mother and him, and he was telling me that he's into the PGM program at New Mexico State.
That's what's up.
And he was like, man, Will, I see you, man, you inspire me. And I was like, man, it was kind of dope. So, when you see stuff like that and, random people, will keep growing the game. It keeps you going, man. And it's all about just making awareness, man. That's what we are doing. Me, you, the Roger Stills of the world, the Allie Ledbetters of the world, and just growing the game, man. That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we always talk about, like what does it mean to grow the game? I feel like there's different angles and ways we can all
Mm-hmm.
kind of approach this kind of growing the game. But I think that you and Roger and Hallie, like there's a certain tangibility that y'all possess, right? It's come holler at me in the streets. It's not like just watch my posts and watch when we work and then I'll
Yeah,
holler at you.
yeah.
Y'all got a much more like pull up and say what's happening kind of vibe.
Yeah, there was it was one of the conversations. I had the pleasure of hosting a Doers event that was at the Soho House, Holloway House, which is part of Soho House umbrella, and Doers put on this spectacular, activation where I was, had a fireside chat with Roger. And that was one of the questions is, people who come across the social media waves trying to grow the game, but are they coming across as insincere? And you can kind of tell that, and that was and Roger had a great answer to that, how brands can come across insincere, how social media influencers come across insincere, and it was a good conversation. So we kind of shed new light to some of those who were in the audience who didn't really know what we were about.
Trying
Me,
to
you, Roger, and all those
do.
guys that are trying to grow the game.
I'm trying to be Brian Gumble over here. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's how you say it.
You,
Hey,
you on your way doing that too.
well, I appreciate it, man. I tell you what, though, this was an interesting U.S. Open. This one had all the Hollywood hype of a blockbuster movie. We in Tinseltown, and I want to start messy. I want to start. Let me start here. Congratulations, Wyndham. Like Wyndham, you went out there, you earned it, you took it. This is your championship. It's your time to shine. You outlasted everybody in the field, best players in the world, and you, sir, are a United States Open champion. I'm gonna start there with Wyndham Clark. Now, the USGA. I don't really have too much good to say about the USGA. Will I thought the hype of this U.S. Open it let me down. The actuality of it, I am not a fan of guys shooting double digit under par to win a U.S. Open. I think this should be the toughest test in golf anywhere. I want to see scores. Anything 4 under up is what I want to see win a U.S. Open. I can't say that I found that there, but there's a lot of rumors that circled, Will, and you were on property, so let's get messy first. I heard that the LACC members purchased.
Hold on.
Go ahead. All right, you gonna stop me? All right, go ahead.
Let me, because just so I can save a job and keep a job.
No.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, you with the USGA.
Yeah, no. I'm mad at USGA Championship and the tournament committee. But
okay, there we go.
I love what USGA is doing in regards to the pathway internship and all that stuff. So
we'll be saving. All right. Well, what Will said to the committee and the tournament setup people.
As you were. Let me keep my job, please. Thank you.
You know what? And I've been to LACC. That's where I met President B. Rock O'Drama, and shout out to Stuart Hagestad for that day. I appreciate it. But Will, I'm hearing rumors that the membership there at LACC purchased X amount of tickets and just let them go to waste. Like they just let them. Look, am I spreading rumors? Possibly. But Mr. So-and-so, did you do that? Possibly. You got the money to. I don't appreciate the rumor, Will, of the club limiting access to the public to come see the national championship of the United States. That's all I'm saying. That rumor pisses me off.
I mean, according to some of the things that you need to know about the USGA, it indicated that a lot of the corporate, I guess you would say, the chalets and the corporate sponsors, took majority of the tickets. And there was only a certain amount of tickets that were available every day.
Heard that.
Regardless if it was true or not, it felt like Rocket Mortgage. It didn't feel like.
Shooting up Rocket Mortgage like that. Hold up, cuz Rocket's that Vince Cole.
No, that's what I'm saying is like it didn't feel like.
Oh, you just saying it felt like a regular week.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. U.S. Open crowds. It wasn't a U.S. Open crowd, and I want to say that's my first U.S. Open I ever attended. So it didn't feel like a U.S. Open crowd. It felt like a PGA Tour event. It felt like John Deere. It felt like, I think Quail Hollow had bigger crowds. Like it was just.
Well, you were there on property. Let's talk about the viewing experience, Will, because if I've read correctly, how they had the course roped off, you really couldn't get, I don't want to say close to the players, but you had 30, 40 yards of rough before you could see the fairway started. Like, is that true? Was that a situation that you saw out there on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, you saw what crowds were contained. Like the first hole and the 18th hole, they were kind of in the little kitty corner of, between the ropes. It was kind of creative the way they had the ropes sectioned off for the fans, and I mean, you saw a lot of grass in the places where fans were. Typically when you got US Open, you don't really see the ground that much. You don't really see the grass. You fight for every morsel of property. Just to have some real estate when it comes to your feet. And I just saw a lot of grass, man. I just saw a lot of grass, and I mean, it looked like it was it was a private event, unfortunately.
Man, you know what? We're going to talk about that U.S. Open for members only. And this is video you took, correct?
Yeah. Look at the crowd. Look at this grandstands.
The grandstand. What day was this?
That was Saturday. I mean, it looked like a Charlotte Hornets game.
Yeah. So we're showing, for our listeners out there that's not watching on YouTube, we're showing a slow pan video of the stands that that looked maybe half full or half empty, depending on your disposition in the world, Will. And there's a lot of criticism this course faced as well, not just the viewing experience. Players talk about it not being the greatest of places. Victor Hovland, even Ricky to some degree. From your seat, was the course a U.S. Open venue? Was it U.S. Open? Now, mind you, we know that Ricky and Xander shot 62 in the opening round. The answer is, of course, not. But as the weekend progressed, the marine layer dissipated. We saw scores act right.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you got 300 acres, you would think it's a U.S. Open venue, right? It was 300 acres. George C. Thomas designed. He also designed Bel Air, also designed Riviera,
and Hillcrest.
And Hillcrest. So it had all the happenings of a championship style course. But I'm just questioning the fact, was it set up properly for a U.S. Open to be a typical U.S. Open? For Thursday round everybody went low. Yeah, it had a little bit of get back, but I don't like. I'm not a fan when a championship adjusts way too much to be drastic, so the scores don't be as low. I feel like it gets unfair because if it starts out tough, it starts out tough, And so yeah, I mean, it was a U.S. Open venue. It just didn't have the feeling of a U.S. Open.
I with all the rumors just circling, and we're going to stay on the U.S. Open just a bit, I really felt like it was, like you said, it was a corporate. My man hungry, cuz. I love it. Go ahead and eat that. Was that a bagel? What are you eating?
No,
you don't eat meat. Wait a second. You threw me all off.
It was a Rice Krispie treat I saw in the airport. I was waiting for my luggage for an hour. It was a Rice Krispie treat, Fruity Pebbles. I'm so hungry, dog. I can't even. I'm tired, bro. I'm slap silly right out here.
I was trying to play this episode all the way together, but you got me. We got Will sleep. I'm over here sipping like, welcome to Beyond the Fairway. This is what it is right now.
But here's my question though, Dougie. When I know you had a question, but
you know what? Let's just you know what?
It's cracking.
We're gonna make this instant. We're gonna just do our thing right now.
Yeah. So when Brooks Koepka, Matthew Fitzpatrick, when they all say things like, they don't like the course, it's because they play bad. Like I get mixed up when people say they don't like I get if you say you don't like the course in the very beginning, I'm cool. But
you're not gonna play well.
Yeah, but I just and I know what they're saying because there's absolute courses that I played on tournaments I didn't play well and I didn't like. But has there ever been a person who won said they still didn't like the course?
I'll tell you, Wyndham Clark probably likes the course.
Exactly. So it's kind of.
Roy McIlroy seemed to like the golf course.
I feel like it falls on deaf ears when you hear players like, I don't like the course when they miss the cut. So that's where I struggle.
Here's my thing, because and this is a conversation that I want to get into, and we'll get into some other things. But we look at Wyndham Clark. First 6 years on tour, he won $2.6 million. Last 6 weeks, he's won $7.6 million. Now, here's my thing. Like, what can we really learn from Wyndham, right? Like, is it patience? Is it stick-to-itiveness? I don't even know if that's a word. Like his win, I'm trying to, I've sat and I've thought and I've pondered, man, Wyndham Clark, I follow him on the gram. I see he's always in the gym and working on crazy stuff with Ando over at PFS here in Scottsdale, and they do the craziest workouts I've ever seen, but Wyndham has been consistent. And my thing is, in the process of being a champion or a winner, is it more just the discipline to stay with the day-to-day routine and then kind of wait your turn? Like, how does this work? Like, this patience? Because I feel like somebody out there needs to understand and take something away from Wyndham's win.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this, Doug. It's a divine delay, right? Like, you can't let what comes across as a disappointment when it's supposed to be a divine delay. You're supposed to learn from it. You're supposed to go through the trials and tribulations. So that's what a lot of kids. That's what a lot of kids can kind of take away from Wyndham Clark's career thus far. Is that you're going to go through trials and tribulations. Things aren't going to go right, and I'm sure Wyndham has had ample amount of times where he just didn't feel like he belonged, or tears shed at night. We all have done it, but you can't let what is a divine delay. You can't turn that into a disappointment. You just can't do it. And I feel he has a great story. If you ever read up about his mother, passing away of cancer, and him winning the Wells Fargo, I feel like he has a heartstring with me because Wells Fargo, my hometown, Charlotte.
Backyard. Yeah, there you go. Here we go.
Yeah. So I just think that he's in his mixer now, and it's he's getting his just due, especially when it comes to the universe and paying it back. Golf guys paying it back, so I'm all for it.
Because when we talked last week on the show, we were talking about these newer venues when the courses travel to these, I don't want to say lesser courses, but newer open sites. That's when we get the Rich Beams or the Webb Simpsons or the whomever else, the Chad Campbells, right?
Right.
Does Wyndham fall in that same category? Like, did you call that, or are we seeing a Scottie Scheffler like guy a year ago in Wyndham Clark?
I don't know, man. It's tough because I want to say Rich Beem, I want to say won 2-3 weeks before he won his first PGA Championship. So that's a good question, Doug. I don't know if we can. I don't know. That's a great question. That's a great question. You got me something. I don't know if we can put him in. Is he a perennial All-Star, or is he working his way up to a perennial All-Star, or is he that Ben Curtis of the world? Like I don't know. That's a great question, Doug.
I mean, is it gonna be? Is he gonna be Mark Wilson? Kind of a cat, and we fact checked you on Rich Beem there, and Rich Beem did win 2 weeks before the PGA Championship. So I'm impressed right now with this recall you just displayed. That was actually. I'm impressed, guys. I'm not even gonna sit here and stunt.
I know my golf history. I may not always know my black history, but I know my golf history.
You know what? Let's go there. Let's go there about black history, because today's a day that a lot of white people just don't understand. Today,
I made it to Will Smith thing with my white people don't understand.
Yeah, no, I'm just being honest, man. I mean, shit, a lot of black people don't understand the significance of Juneteenth. So, am I going to be your, Negro spiritual leader in this effort? No, I'm not. But I will say this. Long story short, slavery ended 1863. Word didn't get out to some folks till 1865. So for 2 years or 3 years, however the math works, depending on when the months fall, there were freed blacks that didn't get to enjoy said freedom. So what actually happened was, when everybody did get freed and everybody was happy about it, we black people, culture, we celebrated said day as Juneteenth in our own community. All right. So, and now Biden, 2 years ago? This is the second Juneteenth. 2 years ago, signed it into federal law, and then today is Juneteenth. That's the short, concise version of the story. So, to all of any type of background culturally people, we celebrate Juneteenth to celebrate freedom of black folk out of slavery. Period.
But it's to make it with more brevity.
Okay, I was trying to keep it as lighthearted, because some people, they can't take it. Will, why you got to bring up the race? Why you got to talk race?
I know.
I ain't talking race because I'm black. That's why.
To capture that with a little more brevity. It's the second Independence Day. That's all it is.
That's all it is. All right, fair. A little more brevity. So then some smart ass out there is gonna be like, well, where's the fireworks?
You're right. Well, I tell you this.
Are they red, green, and black?
I tell you this. There was fireworks. Shout out to the PGA of America. I just got back, doing a panel discussion with Rachel Melendez Mabey and a lot of leaders in the golf industry at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, and they acknowledge, Pride Month as well as Juneteenth. So,
Yeah.
Shout out to PGA of America and KPMG just for putting on an event.
And that's the thing. The golf ball course, it's an asterisk there, shouldn't care about where you're from, what you look like, who you love. It's golf, man. It's like we always talk about this game being one of the greatest connectors, Will, and hearing that conversation, it kind of makes me smile. And kind of a very unique time in golf because, you talk about, people having the freedom to come out, be whoever they identify as, etc. And then you flip it to where the PGA Tour and the Live and the PIF, and now, I'm seeing senators sending out tweets about we're going to investigate and we're going to go here and we're going to look for collusion or XYZ. You got Tom Watson writing a letter to the PGA leadership today, Will, and I doubt you had a chance to read this, but Tom Watson wants to know what, and this is the lightest paraphrase of a very long letter, but he's like, hey, where's the transparency here? Where are the options? You're going to do this on behalf of the PGA Tour. Where are we financially? Where are our reserves? Like, are we that much, like, by elevating events and spending more money, did we take on that much more debt to where now we have to weld our relationship to the Public Investment Fund? And we'll just read it right here. It says, what does the acceptance of this partnership mean to the tour? What do we get? What do we give up? Why is this deal done in such secrecy? And why wasn't even one of the players who sits on the tour's policy board included? A quote there from Watson. He also brought up Saudi Arabia's ties to 9/11 and human rights abuses, writing that eye of the tour, how is a non-negotiable point for us. One day we negotiate around the next. So Tom Watson calling basically the PGA Tour hypocrite, man, based off of this interesting time in golf, man. I don't know if he's got a chance to see it, but what's your first take when you hear that Tom Watson sat down and got to scribbling?
I mean, think about it. You got a GOAT that's saying something. We need to give a shot. We need to make sure send our prayers to Jay Monahan first.
Shout out Jay Monahan.
We got to send our prayers to Jay Monahan. They said that. They said
that's right. I like Jay. Jay's good people to meet.
I like Jay too. And in that medical emergency, I don't know what that means. That was very ambiguous.
Vague. It's very vague.
And I don't know if it's from stress. I don't know what it's from. But definitely our prayers are going out to him.
Yeah. That's right. And well wishes.
But yeah, back to Tom Dub. I mean, he's asking some probing questions. I mean, he's asking questions that we all want to know answers to. And I really can't wait till we get to the meat and potatoes of the process of how this happens. But until then, we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, it's such a unique position when we talk about the PIF, because I'm American as apple pie. White people be like, wait, what? Yeah, I was born here in Kentucky, so just like you. I have a lot of issues, Will, with people that will fill up their tank with gas. They'll go have Starbucks, get on their PC computers, run Microsoft, order things on Amazon, and never complain about Saudi involvement.
Never.
You can't have a cup of coffee at Starbucks without Saudi backing, period. You can't do it. And I struggle with everybody dying on the sword about Saudi involvement in golf. It's like, you wouldn't bitch about your Starbucks, cuz. You wouldn't bitch about your Amazon in here in 2 days. Some of the best healthcare services in the United States have have lectureships and professorships that were established by the PIF. I can tell you one right now, Columbus Children's Hospital in Ohio. There's heavy Saudi money in that facility. Not when I say heavy Saudi, I'm saying as philanthropy, as given to extend wings and bring in, conversations and the best talent in children's hospital space. So how is it golf can come over here and talk all this shit like, man, F the Saudis, F PIF, 9/11. I was here too. Damn it, I remember that day just like everybody else. I lost friends too.
Mm-hmm.
But some people are like they caramel macchiato upside down, oat milk. That's all I'm saying. And that's kind of where I sit, man. That's kind of where I sit on this, man. I don't give a damn about the Saudi money.
I just think it just, there's a point to where as you drink your apple juice, I love it.
This is Kentucky bourbon, baby. This is Woodford Reserve. This ain't no apple juice.
It has to be apple juice, dog.
It's not apple juice. This is bourbon.
But
this is after hours. I'm grown.
But when we think about I think the play was a little bit incorrect when we.
Oh, I 100 bajillion percent agree with you there.
What I'm saying, just come across as beacon of morality, and he put it. And there was times where our the fans' moral compass was at stake, and I think that was kind of tough. But here's what I was thinking from the money aspect. From the players who were loyal, right? Do you think the players? Do you think the players will come together and not play until they get the same money as the individuals that left or live? The players that didn't.
Let me tell you something right now. And this is I believe this. For every player that has made it to a high level, I personally believe that there's another person somewhere that will step in and fill in and rise to the occasion. So if the tour did some stuff like that, there's a lot of other people out here. Me, I'll show up to the course and play. Shit, you know what I mean?
I've been good lately.
I mean, get out the way. If they don't want more money, you know what? And that's interesting because Kobe, let's put up this Forbes article here because I found this today. This was released today. Will the world's top 10 highest paid golfers, as according to Forbes magazine. Now, I'm going to give you a chance because I gave this to our producer, shout out to Kobe Powell, who put this in, and I thought I'd surprise you with it. I want you to take a look. Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, Cameron Smith, Tiger, DeChambeau, Patrick Reed is on this list. Wow. Jon Rahm and Scottie Scheffler. Now, by my account, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 live players in the top 10. And then I guess 4 players from the PGA Tour. All players were PGA Tour players at one point. Let's just always say that. Well, first thing that jumps out to you here.
It's the fact that Tiger Woods, for once, is not at the top of the list of when it comes to making the most money in golf. Highest paid
golfers of 2023. That was
his? Okay, yes, 2023.
The highest paid golfers of 2023 according to Forbes.
Well, still, he usually at the top of the list regardless. I don't know what else what I'm missing besides the obvious.
No, I'm not saying anything. There's nothing. This is just I thought it was an interesting a list that Forbes had put together, and don't forget to check out the Beyond the Fairway article in Forbes magazine. That was a year and a half ago. Shout out to Forbes. But no, I expected. I thought Phil would be the highest paid with all the shit that we hear, but Dustin is chilling, brother. He got Adidas millions, brother. He got 3 Stripe millions. Yeah. That boy got hockey sticks out there. That's a lot of money, man. But
yeah, it is.
I think if I look when I see this list, Scottie Scheffler's probably the one that surprises me. Now, look, I know he's won every designated event, the Masters, the Players Championship, and I get that. $50 million and 35 of that's on the golf course, but that's surprising me. Jon Rahm has out-earned Scottie Scheffler by only $2 million, and Scottie got him beat by $8 million on the course. That's wild to me. Like just
That's
seeing
wild.
that. And where did Tiger Woods make $15 million on the golf course this year?
I'm
Forbes,
saying since Live, this is the first time Tiger Woods not at the top of the list doing some stuff. So
yeah, man, it's
that's
just
amazing.
interesting, man. Like I need to. Can I just get one? Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like everybody wants all these millions, and I'm like Chris Rock's character in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker when he's at the rib spot where he's like, I'll take one. Let me get one rib.
I'm also like Chris Rock. I'm also like Chris Rock too, because the neighbor to every one of those players on that top list is a dentist. Is a doctor, dog.
Oh my goodness, man!
You gotta watch the Chris Rock special to get that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Although, yeah, I'll have to look at that one. You know,
You
I'm not
remember
the biggest Chris Rock stand-up guy. Although I did see the live one that he did last. It was on Netflix.
Chris Rock said, man, you know, I'm an entertainer. I said, in my neighborhood, I got Mary J. Blige, I got such and such, such and such, such and such. But he said, you know who's my neighbor? A dentist. It's so classic, dog. It's so funny. He's so funny. You gotta do a lot of stuff as a black man in the neighborhood. You gotta dance. You gotta tap dance.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I love it.
I tell you what, man.
I'm so slap silly, man. This is a layup.
I love it. I know. Approaching the
for all the audience there, for all the people listening, we apologize. This is not like us. We usually have a lot of energy, but you just ain't gonna get it today. You just don't.
It's not. I'm almost out of bourbon,
Apple
so
juice.
we're gonna have to wrap this up here soon.
Yeah, you got the boy. I hear you.
Here's the question, completely unrelated to everything. You brought up Roger Steele probably 6 days in a row. Are we gonna have that I feel like we should have had him on here to celebrate Juneteenth. It would have been a great day for Roger Steele here on Beyond the Fairway. But we're gonna get Roger on here. What we gonna do, man? Are we gonna ask Roger to come on the show?
Yeah,
people asking in the streets, man. We got to give the people what they want.
Man, it's always good. You know what? Roger is loved out there, and it's dope to see, like when he's walking through the crowds and walking everywhere. And this man is loved. Like he is like loved and adored, and it's dope to see that. It's dope to see it. I saw East Side guys. They wanna come on. They say they do, but they so big time. I don't know if they going. So
Will said they so big time. I know. How about Mary Blige? Last time I saw Earl, he was sitting next to her courtside. So
right.
All right. You know what? We need to put that out. Who do y'all want to hear from here on this season of Beyond the Fairway? Go ahead and hit us in the DMs. Let us know that. But well, I am out of my drink that I've been sipping on. I don't know why you out here capping. I'm not drinking apple juice, and I'm okay with that. No, I'm not. I'm a grown individual. I'm a grown individual that is having a beverage in my house in the lights. Welcome. You know what, Will? You said I was the neutral one. I feel like this season you is flipped. Like now that you done got more followers than me, you starting to act. You starting to act a little different. Cause I'm about to tell you about yourself.
I drank a little bit of juice. I ain't drank all of it, but a little bit.
Hey, you like Jay-Z, man. You never have a problem with your first class seat. Hey, but on some real stuff, man. Will went from LA after a week of the US Open, stopped by at Baltusrol at the PGA KPMG Women's Championship or Women's PGA Championship, and then landed off a red eye, did what you had to do in New Jersey, got back on a flight, got back to Charlotte, bag was late, and now you hopping on here with us joining me for Beyond the Fairway. So I'm impressed, man, and keep that shit up.
Let me in here for a day, and then heading to do a show for Home Course Advantage, and then going to Underrated, and then broadcasting for Rocket Mortgage. Long next couple weeks.
Well, you have fun. I'm going to enjoy some golf tomorrow. I'm going to take a little trip up to Talking Rock. Shout out to Jay Frank for putting us up this week, and I'm gonna play some golf and see how this wrist works because it's been a while, dude. It's been 10 weeks since I played 18 holes. 10 weeks, so we'll see how bad this goes. So
I think I might go do Q school, Doug. I'm swinging the ball.
Bye, boy. Shit. I'm done with you right now. Be sure to listen, follow, subscribe, do all that shit. Will's thinking about being a golfer. I don't know, but hey, look, Will, I love you, but I can't. Nope. No, sir. Not going there with you tonight.
Not a fairway.